Hello, what is up? My name is Michela, and I manifested everything I ever wanted, and I'm still broke. Let me explain. So, I was a real estate agent in Southern California for 5 years and working in the hustle and bustle and all the grind, and I just kind of burned out. I love yoga and I have a passion for traveling. So, I decided to stop everything for a little bit and just go travel. My practices that helped me get to the point where I manifested everything I ever wanted, which was to be able to travel, to live abroad, to not be bound to a 9 to 5 or a job that was demanding so much of my time and energy, and eventually to fall in love and sometime down the road have children and get married and all that stuff. But I got all those things. So now here I am living abroad. I get to be able to travel. I work remote, and I'm broke. I had 3 really important key practices in place that I was practicing daily, and it really changed my life. And it's, a series of events that led me to kind of stop what I was doing, turn my whole life around, and move into this travel world. And it was great. And so I traveled, I went to Bali, I stayed there for a month, I went to Australia, I did scuba diving, I love scuba diving, so I did a live-aboard boat, went scuba diving in Australia, amazing. Before I went to Bali, I went to Italy for a friend's wedding, and my family's originally from Italy, well, my mom is, and I fell in love with this guy, and we stayed in touch all throughout my travels. I didn't really realize I was in love yet, but we stayed in touch all throughout my travels, and after Australia, I was supposed to go to New Zealand, and instead, I just decided, what the fuck, I'm just gonna go to Italy instead. And so I hopped on a 26-hour plane ride to go to Italy in the dead of winter, which it's really, really cold. I had my 10 bathing suits and my 5 sundresses and some shorts with me, and I was just like, here we go. And so I went to Italy, and I, made it work, and we ended up falling in love, and it was great. And leading up to that point, as much as we love to work in life, I never wanted to live to work. As people say, I wanted to work to live, and as little as possible, so I could live as much as possible. And by live, I mean travel, spend time with family, spend time with friends, all of that stuff. So I end up deciding to move to Italy after spending a month with this guy, and in this country that I love. Ultimately, I am from Southern California originally, so the winter is a bit challenging, but who doesn't love a challenge? So I fall in love with this guy, and his name is Luca, by the way, and I decide to move to Italy. When it comes into this point of saying I manifested everything I wanted and I'm still broke, that basically comes from me saying I was in a place where I had been struggling with migraines, really, really bad migraines, but pretty much all throughout the 5 years that I was in real estate. Particularly the last 2 years, it was so intense that it was daily. I lived for a year and a half with a migraine every single day, which was debilitating. And if anyone has migraines, you know exactly what that's like. And so it would get kind of frustrating as I was doing my practices, which I will get into, as I was doing my practices, to be like, I'm not seeing any results here. And then one day, I know the super cliche book, The 4 Agreements, that really helped me. And one of my main teachers has always been Ram Dass. I love Ram Dass and everything that he says. And so, all the beautiful stuff about enlightenment and letting go of attachments and all this stuff. But we can't all be perfect. And you know what? I am attached to things. And that's just where I'm at in this realm and this incarnation. I'm not going to be an enlightened being. And I'm not going to, well, not in this life, hopefully, eventually. But I'm not going to let go of all of my attachments. I don't want to. I'm attached to them. So that's just how it's going to be. But ultimately, when you trust in the universe so much that you think, okay, I know the universe is going to provide, because I was in such a good trajectory before. I was in such a great lane where I was leaning into my practices, which I have yet to say what they are, where I was leaning into my practices, and I just had this delusional faith that money was going to fall from the sky and I was going to be perfectly fine and a job would come when I need it. So I basically didn't work for a year and lived off my credit cards and put myself in a pretty sticky situation. But that being said, here I am now. I am working. I don't do real estate anymore, but since real estate was such a big part of marketing, I do social media management for real estate agents and other small businesses, and I was able to slowly build my clientele. And so now I'm working again, I'm making money, I'm working on paying my debts, and I got to a point where I'm still like, I don't know, I still feel kind of stuck, and I haven't been practicing my practices that gave me everything that I wanted, that helped me manifest to where I need to be, not to where I need to be, that helped me manifest to where I desire to be. And I'm just now starting to put my practices back into place. And so I had a thought, since I'm helping so many people with their social media and their YouTube and all this stuff, I'm like, why don't I do it for myself? So I'm going to start this little journey where we're going to document how my manifestation works in real time, how it's going to work out for me, and hopefully I can help inspire other people to do it for themselves. That's my goal. So what I did initially to help me with manifest everything I ever wanted, which I truly did everything I ever wanted in that point, and then kind of fall off, because it's, it's an ebb and a flow. It's something that needs to obviously stay consistent in order to continue to get the returns. And the one thing that I really fell off on, and that got me to this point where I stopped receiving or manifesting what it was that I wanted, was that I just said the universe will provide, and I myself put no action into place. So the universe will provide, but you also have to do your part, which was something that I just kind of left on the back burner for a bit. So that being said, I just wanted to make this little intro video, and in the next videos I will talk to you about what it is that I did to get everything I ever wanted during that time, and what it is that I'm going to do now to help me continue to get everything that I want and to get out of this place of financial turmoil that I'm currently in. So if this is something that interests you and you want to figure out how you can manifest the life that you want for yourself and see it done in real time, I'm documenting the whole process, so subscribe if you want to see what happens next.